What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another Chaos or Nightmare CZN video. And today I want to talk about what you guys should expect when you hit level 50. So the reason why people call level 50 the start of the late game is because if you look at your combatants, you'll see that by hitting level 50, you unlock the level cap on your characters, which is going to be level 60. You can see my Tressa here is the first one I got to 60. If you guys know, you know. But you can see that she's 5 out of 5 stars, or triangles I guess they are in this game, and she also is level 60 out of 60, so completely at the cap. The promotion and the upgrade, the level up button is completely gone from her stats sheet, so this is like the max potential you can get out of your character. Also, you'll see in the potential nodes, talking about potential, that everything unlocks at this point. It will just cost you currency to upgrade, and most importantly, units, which we'll talk about very shortly. Upgrading characters in this game does get very expensive. In the early game, you don't really notice it being expensive at all. It's just kind of like, oh, you have to farm simulation, get some materials, and upgrade them. But you're gonna see, I only have one character at 60 right now, and I'm still working on the other ones. And this is with me hitting level 50 about 2 or 3 days ago, max refreshing every single day. Now, people have been asking me why I max refresh, and honestly, it's not really required, but once you hit level 50, it feels like you kind of have to, because otherwise it can take you more than a week, probably even 2 weeks, to get one character from 50 to 60. And the reason why is because if you look at the promotion costs for just getting it to the upgraded triangle in this game, you're going to see that it costs you 36 premium Vanguard manuals for Magna because she's a Vanguard, and I think about 3 or 4 drop per run in simulation, and then you'll also see it cost you 500,000 units. And for every 60 energy you spend on the unit dungeon, because there actually is a gold dungeon, and I know some of you guys will say, just farm the gold dungeon, you can get gold that way. Well, when you actually farm this, if I do 60 runs, or not 60 runs, 3 runs with 60 energy, I don't even get 100,000 of this. So you'll have to do this 5 times at, the 60 cap. So you're gonna spend an entire day basically farming just the units to get the amount that you need to just promote the character, not even level them up. So, I'm not saying, it's a bad thing. Obviously it feels pretty bad right now, and I think the reason why this is bottlenecked, especially the units, is because of the fact that the game is a PvE game and it is meant for the long term. So I understand the decision, but I'm just making this video to warn you guys about, the exponential increase in material costs that you need. So what does this mean for you guys? Well, because not only are you promoting, but you also have to level up your characters, you also have to, get your potential nodes, which also cost you more units and a ton of these potential currencies which you have to farm. And on top of that, you also need to upgrade memory fragments, and also you have these partners which you need to also upgrade, which will cost you even more units, which is required for some of the growth guide quests. So you will have to do all of this eventually to fill out your growth guide. What I recommend is just saving and pooling all your resources. Basically, out of the 2 teams, or outside of the 2 teams that you're building for Basin, don't invest into anything else if you haven't already. You can see I have 9 units built. 3 of them, I guess 2 of them are only at level 40, so they're kind of semi-built, but honestly it's still a lot of resources. And even that I kind of regret, right? My Nia, my Rin, and Kalipe, I guess I use Nia a decent amount for Basin, but my Rin and Kalipe, because they're 5-star characters and they're shiny and I wanted to use them, and they're waifu AF, I started building them, and I can say 100% I definitely regret it, because right now it feels like my account isn't bricked, but I'm definitely behind and I'm playing catch up, even while max refreshing. So you want to make sure that, if you're going to go wide with your roster, it's up to you, but just understand that once you hit level 50, the costs for everything go up like crazy, right? You can see the promotion cost even from 40 to 50 is 250k, but it doubles from 50 to 60, right? So everything gets really expensive. The promotion mats actually more than double, right? Because from 40 to 50, or I guess like unlocking that 50 level cap, it costs you only 16. But with Magna, I think it cost me 36, right? Which is absolutely crazy. So if you feel like, the upgrade promotion costs earlier on is a lot, which it did feel like, it gets more than doubled. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So you definitely want to make sure you kind of condense your roster to not have to waste as many materials, and definitely not do what I did. You know, I pulled Veronica and I really wanted to build her, but I just don't have the resources to, even though she's one of the best characters in the game, which feels really bad because I pulled her from my 300 selector, which was a little bit too late to start building her. Now, there are some things you can do to prepare, and like I said, you want to definitely pool your resources, constantly be farming simulation, and even if you have characters you already have max level at your account level, just start, you know, preparing for when you hit level 50, because you will need a lot more of these promotion mats. So you want to make sure you're farming beforehand. And also on top of that, in Arc City, there's also something that I recommend getting eventually. So usually people get the bottom nodes to a certain point and they start focusing on the top one. And that's a very good option because you want to rush to this one here, maximum communication passes. Even though this doesn't seem significant, this allows you to actually go to the psychotherapy ward here in the Epion Center, and it gives you an extra one of these every day. And this is really good because this is going to, one, it gives you some affinity to, you know, do it, but also when you're running Chaos, sometimes when you get decks you don't want, actually almost all the times, you're going to want to delete the memories because you don't want to waste this counseling ticket if you're playing like, you know, multiple hours a day. If not, it probably doesn't matter to you too much. But deleting memories also costs you units. You could see I'm at 114. Like, there was a day, I think it was yesterday actually, where I had my Mika in here and I couldn't do Chaos because I didn't have any counseling tickets and I didn't have any units to break her out, and it was forcing me to use gems, but I didn't really want to use my gems at that point. So definitely make sure that you get to that policy. Another thing I recommend is going to have to do with Chaos, because everyone is farming Zero System mostly to raise their difficulty, because this is where you start farming like the really good decks, and starting from like level 7, level 8, you also can farm really good amounts of memory fragments here for the right side. But what you want to do is not waste credits merging. So a lot of people just kind of keep merging carelessly in the like level 30, actually level 40 to 50 range, because this is when it unlocks. And I did it too because I was hunting for certain maps that are easier. Don't do it. Just, you know, only do it if you have nothing else to run. And the reason why is because it costs you 90k units, which doesn't sound like too much maybe for you right now, but this is so much, right? Every 5 maps you merge, that's a promotion. And because these units get super precious in the late game, you want to make sure that you aren't spending them carelessly beforehand, right? You know, save while you're rich. Don't start trying to make money when you're poor, right? That's basically what it is in this game. So you definitely want to make sure that you are just progressing through one map and using that one map to try to get to the highest difficulty possible, because the way you unlock difficulties is just by completing maps at higher stages. And if you actually clear a map, as you guys know, you get a free one at the end that's upgraded, that's a higher level. So you want to make sure that you're definitely doing that and not wasting your units on creating new worlds and merging it. And also there's going to be some exchange shops which are worth using for units. So in the memory archive, if we go here, so this is where you could buy dupes if you want. You can also save for partners, which is what I personally recommend, because partners are a lot harder to get in this game because mostly people are summoning for characters only. But in the third tab, there's the Traveler tab. You want to make sure you are buying this out basically every single month. Now, of course, this currency is hard to get because you do have to summon, so you're not going to be able to buy everything. But what I recommend prioritizing is going to be just the promotion, the potential materials, and also the summons if you want more summons, which everyone always wants. For me personally, I'm going to buy out pretty much everything, and this is going to be what I want to buy the most of right now, the units. And I don't really know if it's like the best thing to buy for everyone, unless you are a spender or if you are, able to, summon a lot. I guess from spending, I guess that's the only way. But this is a really good source, and it's kind of like, I don't want to say pay to win, but it's a way if you buy the battle pass, if you spend a bit to actually replenish your units here. And I think what I'll do is, because I am at 100 units, I will buy it, and you can see I get 600k, which is enough to promote one character. So even though it's not that much, it's something. And I don't know if that's to show that it's not worth buying or if like upgrading is too expensive, but it is the reality of the matter. And before people go, oh, you're complaining, you're blah, 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 I don't really care because I play this mostly as a side game, so I'm kind of just taking it slow. The only reason why I max refreshed was to rush level 50 to get my max level cap and, you know, just progress through chaos as much as I can. But for everyone, regardless if you play a lot, play little, spend a lot, spend a little, you want to start saving and pooling your resources and start, you know, utilizing them for just your 2 main teams. You can, you know, always build other characters if you really want. Just keep in mind, you will get to the point where you're going to find it very difficult to level up your characters, and you might fall behind other players, which doesn't matter in this game, honestly, because there's no PvP or leaderboards, but it is just the reality of the fact. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.